What is going on? What is going on? Today, we are doing a full moon energy read. There will be no personal spirit reads or PayPal.me. This is just full moon energy read with Sitri. Hello, two heads. Do not forget, okay, to salivate your tongue on the like button. Okay, whether sideways or up and down, however you prefer it. Come on in, people. Neff, what's going on, Neff? How you doing, Neff? And so you other two are going to be stubborn or what? Okay, yeah. Let's get the likes up. Linda Cunningham, welcome. That's what I'm talking about. Getting these profits, huh? As you should. As you should. Okay. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes just because. See how this algorithm shit's going to work tonight, you know. Three heads in the building. Don't forget to lick that motherfucking like button. Absolutely. Absolutely. I still got to check into what you're talking about. There's a few other things I got to, as far as that goes, you know. But Frankie Evans, salute, brother. What's happening? But yeah, absolutely. You have to make your money work for you. At some point in time, you have to make it work for you, you know, or else you're going to continue to work for it, you know. That don't sound too fun for me, you know. Plus, I also like residual. I like passive income, residual income. Today we are going, and tomorrow when I go live, we're going to be doing the spirit reads, PayPal me's, and stuff like that. But today we are using the Amplified deck by Bicycle. So that would be these joints. All that I'm getting. Yeah. But what I'm saying is also, in addition to that, one thing that I've always liked is like intellectual properties, things that you create, writing books or stuff like that. Anything that's gonna, you know, keep on going. You do the work and you put it out, and yeah, maybe you promote it. Four heads in this motherfucker, and two have licked the like button. Get the motherfucking like button up. Don't be an unreciprocating lover, man. Don't be an unreciprocating lover. Lick that fucking like button. There we go. Much better. Mucho gusto. Love and life. Yeah, see? Well, you know, Frankie Evans, right on, thank you. You know, anything that you do, whether it doesn't matter, like whatever it is that you do that can create anything that you can do where you do the work one time, whether it's a course, whether it's any of these things, types of things, could be a book, could be a blog, could be music, could be, I mean, whatever. Those types of things. And then you take the profits from that and you start, you know, investing and put it in things as well. Now you're really cooking with some shit. And let it work for you. Yeah, of course you still got to promote it and you got to do all that, but like, I mean, you've already did the work. You put the train on its track, and now let it go. Let it do its thing. It's going to keep doing its thing. Okay, so if you are watching a rebroadcast of this live, I got to start playing with the times as to when I go live to see. I'm curious as it relates to my channel about the traction and people, because I notice at certain different times, sometimes we have more, sometimes we have less, but whatever it is what it's going to be. I'm on Pacific Standard Time as far as where my avatar supposedly lives, but I'm always on Shango time. But as far as being in America, what's going on, Birdie? Yeah, see, y'all are 3 hours ahead. It's already like 11 o'clock over there. So I often do things, considering my fam. Y'all are all over the place. So, not to mention across the world and shit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Love and life. That's the story of my life. You know what I'm saying? Shango time. It's just what it is. I literally walk to the beat of my own drum. Like, it's just what it is. I think it's Friday and people enjoying places that are open. I mean, no, it's Thursday today. Unless I missed a day. Am I in a time warp? Did I get in a time warp? Blessings, love, and life. No, but I was just thinking out loud as far as that goes. But let's get down. Are you fucking kidding me? It is. Now y'all fucking with me. I just checked the damn calendar. I just skipped a day, yo. I literally skipped a day. I looked on my calendar on my phone. I'm like, okay, it's Thursday. It literally said Thursday. But I guess it's Friday. So I don't know. Maybe I went back in time. It really is Friday. Ha! All right. Well, I ain't mad at it then. Happy motherfucking Friday then. I guess I'm wearing the right color for Friday then, huh? Shit. Anyways, once again, love and life. It's Shango time. Rachel Dicachia. Okay. Well, you know what? Then apparently it is Friday. All right, so let's get into this read. This is a full moon energy read. There is a full moon approaching us on the 26th, or we're approaching it, I should say. Full moon in Sagittarius. It is also a Caribbean grimoire. It's also a lunar eclipse. There is crazy energy popping off with this particular full moon. And yes, those of you who, there is a very special, near and dear to my heart ritual, a group ritual. And if you have not yet joined, then listen up. This is the multi-dimensional mega magnetism ritual. Now, just at first, you must know you already have all the magnetic power you're ever going to need and then some. The probability is that you don't know how to direct it. You're not familiar with how it works. You have it aimed at the wrong shit. Or at times, enough times out of the day, you have it aimed at the wrong shit, and a bunch of other different factors. Well, this ritual is all about, when I say connecting you to it, I mean consciously. It's kind of like the mind muscle connection. Like, I can work my bicep more when I really feel it fucking moving to lift versus me just mindlessly doing it. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be mindlessly doing anything. We at least want to be aware of what we're doing. Okay? And more than any particular singular result, because you're going to get a fuckload of results from this, because your personal magnetism, your magnetic auric field is going to fucking take off. You're going to learn how to direct and basically literally shoot your magnetism, a la like lightning bolts. Lightning bolts are a good example of magnetism at work. Okay. The other thing about it, and why I feel this is so important, near and dear to me personally, and why it should be near and dear to you. I don't know if any of you have seen American Horror Story, particularly season 3. Season 3 was about some witches, covens of witches. If you've seen it, then you know what it is. If you haven't, okay, that's cool. Because there was one character, and this analogy, Sitri actually brought this to mind and said, go ahead and tell them this. There was one character. You may know her as Precious, the chunky chick who was in this show and in this series known as the human voodoo doll. Now, in this series, her power was, for example, she could stab herself in the neck and you gonna feel it. You gonna die from it, not her, you know? So barring, the exaggeration of that, that is a perfect analogy of how this whole thing works and why it is so important that you do fully accept yourself, get comfortable in your skin, get comfortable in who you are, choose who you are, and be able to be comfortable in that, because you are the epicenter of your whole universe, of your whole matrix. And what you give and do with yourself will be brought to you, magnetized to you, or repelled, depending on what it is you're doing. That is one of the most major secrets. That's why they say know thyself. You want more of something, give it to yourself. I don't mean in a selfish, scary way like you're hoarding something. I mean out of love and out of abundance, you give to yourself. You should bring your tithes to yourself after you bring them to me, You are the epicenter. And this ritual is really, truly about these types of concepts and things. These are what is most important to me than any singular result. The results come and go. You set a goal, you set an intention, you get it. Guess what? You're going to want another one. You get all horny and moist and slippery, and you finally get that right pipe or whatever it is, and you bust off, right? Maybe a day later, 2 days later, 3 days later, depending, once the swelling goes down. You're going to need some more. You get hungry, you eat your favorite food, you're nice and full, but guess what? You're going to get hungry again. So in relation to goals and intentions and shit like that, those are just more like desktop icons. Those are more like the thumbnail for your apps on your phone. They represent something about you. And that's the most important shit. Because once you get that, then all these other things, you got it. You got it. But if I can keep you chasing the carrot or the desktop icon, that's a good way to put you on the little hamster wheel. Nelson Law, TV, Nancy L, Adela Mackey. So the doors are open right now. Join the multi-dimensional mega magnetism ritual. Yes, you get the ritual. There is a thorough compendium video with lots of secret information I have not revealed yet. Very simplistic foundational techniques that you can do to assist what we do in the ritual as you go forth in your own life, down your own path. Be the magnet that you want. Be the magnet that you choose to be. A magnet draws in and it also repels. So once you choose the type of magnet you want to be, you're almost automatically, just by contrast, going to start repelling the shit that does not go with that. The fuckery, the fuck boys and girls, the negative energy, the negative circumstances, the toxic environments, all of that shit. It's got to leave. Or you're going to, like a rocket, be propelled up out of there. Because you're not going to be able to hang with that shit. Your freak is going to start changing too much, your frequency. So anyways, doors are open for that. So you can find that in the description box of this video, or go to shango-ray.com and find out what else you get with it, because there's other shit. I just didn't mention it. Let us get down to the reading for those who are present live right now. And even those who are going to be watching the rebroadcast, time is nothing but a motherfucking concept, and it's an illusion. Obviously, you see Shangito jumping around in time, coming back, doing whatever. You know what I mean? So let us all just, if you're familiar with who Sitri is, if you work with us in the previous Valentine's Day ritual, you can say, hey, what's up? Hopefully you've been continuing your work with Sitri. One of Sitri's things, his big thing, is also, besides inciting lust and things of that nature in men and women and people and in your particular target, his big thing, I would say his biggest thing, is self-love. You know, cultivation of self-love, the unleashing of self-love. It's in there somewhere, right? It's just dammed up somewhere, jammed up somewhere. All right. So let's see what this read is, what this energy is. I mean, I don't want to just go off of because it's in Jupiter. You know, I don't even know how to say that last name. Welcome. Let me see here. TV. Ron the Bodyguard. Create your own. Correcto Mundo. All right. So let us see what's going on with this energy, how it may relate to you for the full moon. For the full moon. These are brand new cards, so they're slipping and shit. Open for greatness, huh? Thou art greatness. All right. Uno mas, one more time. And once again, we are using the Amplified deck by Bicycle. The card collection is immaculate. Well, all right. Let me check these one more time because I'm not going to be open. Not familiar. Okay, that's okay. Miss Lucky Luck. What the fuck is you rubbing your chin for? All right. So let's get down to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So I'm going to start first with just, I feel the way this is probably going to go is kind of semi-personal at first, and then more general as we get out. But then I could be wrong for all I know. What the fuck do I know, right? Shit. All right. Well, I can tell you one thing. The first thing that popped up to me, with the first thing that caught my attention, is I do feel that there is somebody watching this. Maybe you're on the broadcast, maybe not. Maybe you are watching the rebroadcast. But you are, and I definitely don't feel like this applies to everybody, obviously, but I do feel you have been starting to question and wonder about this person that you're dealing with romantically, right? Could be, I don't want to say any gender. It could be, I mean, I see a situation that involves a man, and this man is actually, you know, this man has a lot of arrested development within himself, So, in other words, he has a lot of immaturity. But one thing this man does do is delve into magic. And whoever this person is that is seeing this reading, you've been wondering and you've caught yourself wondering several times, why are you even dealing with this person? And this kind of sounds like a good domination or, head turning type of head work, type of magic spells, persuasion, influence type of things. Certain things can be done to influence somebody, to buy something. Now, the problem, and not, I won't say the problem, but sometimes that's why you get buyer's remorse, because they were zapped with that magnetism. And then afterwards, when they're out of the field and it's all said and done and the dust settles, they're like, why in the fuck did I do that? So it's kind of something similar that I feel with you, if this relates to you. I feel like, now granted, I said, because this could go either way. There could be a younger woman, or the woman just is more immature or acts immature at times, but I definitely feel that there is somebody that's going to be seeing this video, and you're wondering about this person, because the reason why you're wondering, A, this person is not predictable, which is like catnip to you chicks. Right when I looked up to it was at 2222, and I've been seeing 222 now more than the other numbers, like for the last 2 days specifically, a lot. Anyways, I mean, the guy, whoever this person is, they leave you kind of with a wishy-washy, like, yeah, there's times where you're all into this person, or you feel drawn, and there's other time where certain things about them, maybe they're red flags, or they kind of have you on guard, or like, I really just don't know. But whatever the case is, it's got you off your square. It's got you like, thinking about, wondering about this person. Well, I'm here to tell you what I got as far as that is concerned, okay? This person has been working some magic on you. That's why, okay? And in essence, they're kind of running circles around you at this point. You know what I'm saying? Which is why sometimes you have this whole bewildered feeling. You don't know what's, as far as this particular relationship or with this particular person, you really don't know where you stand. You really don't know what to expect. This person's in, this person's out. And yeah, this person is definitely working some motherfucking magic. You know what I'm saying? Miss Bibi, how are you? Good evening. Yo, I'm still bugging out. I really fucking thought this was Thursday. The now and later. Shut up. Okay, so that's just a little thing I got to get out the way. All right, that's just one thing, because there is somebody that's going to be watching this, and part of the, when they watch all these readings and shit, they're hoping to hear something about it. It's a big old Friday TV. Yeah, I see that now. All right. Well, that's good. All right, so I'm just going to go run through these now. As it concerns this lunar eclipse energy, this particular full moon and lunar eclipse is going to be utilized by some of you to literally just bust through your own, because there really is no blocks for you but your own blocks, whether those are thought constructs, or an amalgamation of thought and well, thoughts are energy too, they're frequencies. So many of you are stocked up and blocked up in particular ways, or have been up until now. But this is going to change. Now, just because it's a full moon and just because there's a lunar eclipse does not mean it's going to change. Obviously, you would have to take these things into consideration and somehow, some way, in a way that's right for you, utilize them and use them. Ain't nothing just going to happen. Ain't nothing just going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But this is the card of blockages. This is the card of blockages. And particularly spiritual and energetic blockages. And dare I say, I feel that there is also going to be some ancestral blockages, ancestral curses that are going to finally be just obliterated, basically. Once again, this is for those who are doing their work, because like I said, ain't shit just going to happen. Ain't shit just going to happen. Okay? And I've spoken about selling yourself to yourself. Hey, right on the now and later. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for the donation there. I've spoken about selling yourself to yourself. Why? Is it just so you can feel fucking good? Nope. I've already told you this. I'm going to say it once again. Human voodoo doll. Whatever you give to yourself, you're going to see your environment and other people begin to give you or repel, depending on what it is that you're doing. But whatever you do with yourself, you're going to see it come through. Okay? So in selling yourself to yourself, many people, yeah, exactly. Many people want that ideal lover or relationship, and they just don't understand how far away they really are from it, because they just continue to chase a person or a particular kind of person. At some point in time, you are going to shove the heel of your foot square in your ass, because you're going to basically kick yourself in the ass, because you're going to be like, why the fuck didn't I do this earlier? Right? Because when you start to give yourself that kind of attention, hell, even the feelings, I've spoken before about, like, have some fun with it and pretend you, like, if you're looking in the mirror, pretend you're looking at somebody else, if that helps for now. Some of you have you got so many fucking hang-ups, and it seems like a very daunting task, very overwhelming. I don't even know where to start. What's all this loving yourself and all this bullshit? Like, it seems like a huge mountain. Rome was not built in a day, but it was laid brick by brick, So in selling yourself, this is just one other thing that's coming through. And this is the way it actually came down, okay? You will notice the key to the blockages getting obliterated and removed, is this. This person is looking at that, all right? Or you, I guess you could say. Could say it's you looking at that. And the key to that is definitely, I'm telling you, if you just took a couple of days just to experiment, so that way you don't have to believe, you can confirm. Because that's what I'm about, confirming. I don't want to just believe. I want to know. I want to confirm. And if I got to start with belief, I will stick with the belief until it becomes something I know. Because if it's a belief and I practice it and I choose to adhere to it for any given length of amount of time, I'm going to see evidence in my reality or realities. It's real for me. Therefore, it's going to be confirmed about what I so but the key is the trick is no matter what you sign on the dotted line that you believe or that you know, you're going to be able to see the result of that. So whatever it is, you get to be right. But back to this, some of this is about definitely to me, I see like sweeping yourself off your feet. Now, no, listen, let me see how I want to fucking explain this without sound. I mean, I don't care if I sound crazy. I really don't. You can call me what you want. I don't give a shit. But like sweeping yourself off your own feet. Because I could see for some of you, your whole perception now of yourself, if this is you, your whole perception now is going to change. You're going to have a whole new excitement within yourself, towards yourself. That energy, those emotions of excitement, guess what? They magnetize you. You're going to have a whole new respect for yourself. How can you love yourself and not respect yourself? What does that mean to respect yourself? Well, for some of you, it means having boundaries. It means, it means what destroying these voices that you have in your mind when you want to speak your truth, but you're too over concerned with how somebody else may feel about what you're going to say, or all these self-conscious things that all of us are banged in the head with in some form or another, a lot of us anyway. Being able to just disrobe yourself of these things, because you wear these things all over wherever you go, but finally taking that shit off. Yeah, that type of shit. Boundaries, finally saying, hey man, I don't want to hang out. Or, hey, you know what? You got to call before you come over. Okay? Or, no, mom or dad or whoever, I cannot do that. And without feeling like you have to make up some big ass lie or something, being able to, one of my favorite mantras is by Andre 3000. And he said, I bet you never met a player with no game. Told the truth to get what I want, but shot it with no shame. That type of shit. Yeah, that type of shit. So, there's also going to be some changes here. Hey, right on, James. James in the building. Yes, yes, yes. James in the building. Thank you so much for the donation. May it be reciprocated 100 times over, So there is a change of plans here. There is something you had planned all the way, probably you've been planning. Maybe it's to go somewhere. Maybe it's to do something that is of particular importance to you. And the reason, you're going to know what I'm talking about as soon as I finish speaking on this shit, okay? But because of some of these new things coming up, and you figuring out, you know what, this is not something I really wanted to do. Who was I doing this for? What was I doing? Damn, Nell, let's see, I like that. Come on with it. Thank you so much, Nell Salar. Namaste for the wonderful donation. Appreciate you. Anyways, it's going to stop. You're going to I can hear the brakes. Actually, you know what I hear? I hear the needle scraping across the record. You know what I'm saying? The needle scraping across the record when it's time to party over. That type of shit, I hear that. because these plans are either outdated or they're just not something you truly wanted to do anyways. Okay? Even something like that is a gesture. It's proof. It's confirmation that you respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, if you want to get technical, even your aura starts fucking vibrating differently. It also expands. It gets stronger. Because all this self-love, airy-fairy shit that I'm talking about, you know what it also does? It also starts to regenerate and heal your auric field. Because how many of you got fucking holes in your shit? Or you got pieces missing because of trauma? Maybe it heals it, maybe it calls them back, because nothing ever goes really anywhere. There's nowhere to go. There's just you. All this is a fucking illusion as far as within your mind, from your individualized perspective. We're like a bunch of little computers in a way that are all hooked up together. And we're all in this simulated world. So I'm not saying to not respect the simulated world as well, but please understand, it's hard. Please understand, okay? This is the time. Oh, Lord. The candle went out. This is the time. You're never really lost. You can be under the illusion that you're lost. You can experience the experience of being lost or isolated or alone is more real than actually being isolated or alone, you know? You're never alone just because you can't see. I was visited again last night. You ever have something like really so abrupt? Like to where like the light blinks on and off, like as if somebody walks right by, but out of your field of vision, to where they stop the light. You know what I'm saying? Like the light, just like there should be a body there, but you know what I mean? But that's commonplace though for many of us. It's common. It's like it's nothing to be surprised about. It's like if I was to say, guess what? I tied my shoe, like Brother Panic would always say. So what? How long we been doing that shit for? Like, and this is something. This goes to me, honestly, this fits right in with the whole trust thing. In a subsequent video, in a previous video that I just put out, in regards to this ritual and in your magnetism, if you want to start finding yourself, I guess you could say, or remembering with yourself, trust. To me, this card is coming through as trust also. Yeah, trusting in your own processes, trusting your intuition. But another thing that comes with trust is peace of mind. How effective can you be if your energy is all erratic? And what directs your energy? Why? Your thoughts. So if your thoughts are all erratic and all over the place, and you just can't focus and you can't concentrate, and you're just all over the place, then what we have here is a form of dissonance. You got all these different frequencies going on, and it's like they're colliding. It's like when you throw a rock into a lake and you see the waves emanate, right? But if several people are throwing rocks, you will see these waves start to clash. You know what I'm saying? I suggest here, it's being brought up again, so I'm just going to say it again. This guy really fucking likes that I trust you shit, Sitri. He really likes that. My angel, Hey, Smooth, what's happening? For those of you who ain't on the freak, who didn't see the last video, go to my channel. And I forgot what the name of it is, but I'm just going to give you the small takeaway. It's a very small, almost seemingly insignificant practice that I really would want you to just experience for yourself. And that is where throughout the day, there's no set number of times. You don't have to say it in a certain way. You don't have to do all this shit. You just tell yourself that you trust yourself. That's it. That's plain and simple. You would be surprised what type of doors start to open as far as within yourself. How you start to notice certain things, how you start to notice how you disrespect yourself constantly, a lot of times. How many of you out there can't take a compliment? Or you have to negate the compliment once it's, oh, that's a nice shirt or a nice blouse. Oh, this whole thing, yeah, I got it at Ross because it had this fucking thread sticking out and all this. Why can't you just say thank you? Why can't you say thank you? And if you're really brave to say, yes, I know, I love it, thank you. Some shit like that. Well, when you start having this peace of mind that I'm talking about, you start to notice this shit. And no, you're not supposed to get all upset about it. It's kind of really calm, almost boring. And you just say, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing that again. I'm going to start doing this. It's weird in a way. It's kind of weird. Being somebody who used to suffer from a very, I was a worry ward extraordinaire. So when I say this, I'm coming from experience. Trust me, I know. I've been in situations where I was almost in constant danger. My adrenal glands were always fucking going. You know that feeling you get where either you're about to run or you about to fight? Like experiencing that throughout the day, every day. And I would wonder why I was so burnt out. You know what I'm saying? Well, you need that peace of mind. But your peace of mind cannot depend on anything outside of yourself. And it can also not, you cannot allow it to be subjugated to current, anything that's going on right now. I get off this broadcast, somebody may call me with some bullshit. But I'm just going to deal with it as it is. I'm not going to take that in. I'm not going to take that energy in. And I'm definitely not going to allow it to fuck my whole night up. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Miss BB says, fight or flight, it's extremely tiring. It is fucking exhausting. When I was homeless and sneaking in to the place that I worked at night so I could go to sleep, there'd be plenty of times where, and I always felt like I had to make sure nobody ever seen me. That was my thing at the time. Because once I knew if somebody seen me, it's over with. And there'd be times where, because the place where I work had a bunch of different characters. So there'd be people wanting to come back to the office and smoke fucking crack and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be surprised in the sales world. If you've ever been in the sales world, then you know what I'm talking about. Her name, Kiko Luciano. No one's seen old Kiko. But anyways, every day there was, and I remember clearly, it was upstairs, and there were the stairs, they would come down, like this is the front of the building. We're upstairs. We had like all these offices upstairs, and then there was two stair sets, and it was the type of stair set that had a big metal bar that just came down and like concrete steps. So when somebody was walking up, you could feel the vibration. You could hear the gong, gong, gong. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I got tuned into, like, as soon as I'd hear any little noise or something, you hear a car door close. That could be the boss stopping by the office when he's not supposed to be here. Adrenal glands, you know what I'm saying? You name it. So anyways, peace of mind. I got off track there. Peace of mind. And this is another big thing. I'm going to skip to this one. Okay. Yeah, TV. Exactly, PG. All that. This is another big thing. Do not be surprised if, as a result of whatever work you are doing, however you're utilizing these cosmic energies and occurrences that are going to be happening on the 26th and whatever, the energy's already kind of starting to come in. I can definitely feel it. Don't be surprised. There's going to be some big revelations brought about to you. And these revelations are going to be because you have certain individuals, you also have certain ideologies. Maybe they're your own personal ideologies or whatever, but they have enslaved you. And these ideologies are they're like ninjas, masters of stealth, because you can't see them. In general, you can't really see them. Well, now it's like the invisibility cloak is being taken off. And now you get to see this is what you've been letting direct your shit. And this trickles down into several different ways. Some of you have some people, you clearly undermine their influence on you. And their influence is so smooth and so covert that thus far you've thought that these were your ideas, but they're not. And by the power of Sitri, it's going to be revealed to you the who's, okay? So if a certain person comes to mind, there's a reason for that. Trust your unconscious in giving you this information. Hey, okay, trust your guides in giving you this, because for some of you, this is a much needed, I won't say it's a first step. I don't know what step you're at in your shit, but it's a very important step. Because one thing that you definitely got to do is you got to live out your plan as far as your life goes. Okay? All these hidden influences and things of that matter, they need to be brought to the light. You at least deserve a chance to choose, right? Because you really ain't had too much of a choice. If it's not in your awareness, if you're not aware of it, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. If it's a belief, if it's a group of beliefs, if it's a certain, whatever it is, it's basically when it's not in your awareness, it's like the puppet master. And you would be the puppet on the string. And this program, it's like this, literally, a computer program is like running your life. And maybe that can be very shocking if you didn't realize that, And when you finally come face to face, it's like the Wizard of Oz, Those of you who've seen the Wizard of Oz, when they pull that curtain back and there's the little motherfucker back there, like, what? Yeah. It's that. And he is going to send a miracle spring water. It's all right. I had to channel a little bit of Peter Popoff. On a more mundane note, I feel like some of you also really need to, and part of this program, thank you very much, Sitri, we undermine how important our occupations are because we spend so much time there. And many of us, our occupations kind of run our lives. Jobs is what I'm talking about. A job, I see that some of you are going to be offered a new job. Okay? And I think it's important because many of you are in very toxic, environments in your job. And one thing about it is you can have the strongest willpower, you can have the strongest focus, but one thing will always, environment always trumps like intention or your thought. You can only hold that shit for so long. That's like holding on to a bar. You can only hold on to that bar for so long. Some can hold on longer than others. But your environment is eventually going to win. It's like heat and cold. You ever notice that? Cold don't have to do nothing. It can just get colder. Meanwhile, heat has to do something to generate that heat. But no matter how hot this cup of coffee is, at some point in time, the cold is going to take over and the cold is going to win. So, just like with you and your environments, and when I say environments, yes, I'm talking about spatially. Do you have a cluttery, fucked up place? Is it dirty? Uh, if it's a workplace, you know, there's the environment, and then there's the people that make up the environment. There's the people that make up also your environment as far as just in other areas of your life. So um, these things are going to be brought into question, but I think that for some of you a change is definitely needed, and you can start there. Like, I feel like you're going to be either offered a job, or the your personal matrix, your hologram is going to shoot forth a job at you. A gateway, a doorway. You'd be surprised. uh, the butterfly effect with every single choice that you make, including the ones that you don't make, including the ones that you don't take. You know, I'm always fascinated by that shit. We can sit here and pontificate on that shit forever. The energy of the job can definitely drain you and put you exactly. And then you go home and what? Spread that shit around. How many of us, I mean, shit, I remember getting my ass beat, if my pops had a bad day. It wouldn't just be automatically, but it would be almost for the smallest infraction. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of us. A lot of us went through that. A lot of us come from an era where ass whoopings were not CPS and call the police type of things. This is just what fucking happened, you know? But a change of mind is coming, and it's the most important thing you can do, because it's going to be um, your new square from which you stand on and pivot on, and in which you this chapter, these chapters of your journey. This is a very pivotal point from what I'm being shown. But if we want to zoom in even closer, I feel like some of you need this new job is going to be, because you never know what comes with a new job, right? There's new people. You might meet somebody new, somebody who's maybe vibrating with you on your new frequency. you know there could be another opportunity because of somebody that works there. Maybe they come to work one day with their friend, and you're all smitten over them or some shit. Or maybe it's a connect of some kind. People are our greatest resources. So doorways and portals start to open up. you know but you got to, yeah, with the paddles. Fuck. Paddle switches and hot wheel fucking tracks and all this other shit, man. What do you tell on lady with two black eyes? What? You, you had to pass to call it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So, I mean, but all of us now, like it's funny, because it's like this place is crazy. Like, what's evil is actually good, and what's good is actually evil, or you know what I mean? Everything is so all over the place. Shimano 5, peace. So yeah, this new change of mind though. And I think one of the most important keys or points on that one is you're going to be, I can't explain to you how, like, in some ways unraveling it is, when maybe for a while, for a long time, you just didn't see it, right? And then finally, when the veil is lifted and you start to see this person, I don't want to say like necessarily for what they are, but what they're meaning to you, like how they may be a distraction to you. Some of you who are really about this spiritual shit, you're being prepared. There's a whole lot of shit. We're at war over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and some of us, it behooves us to not be in a fucking relationship, because relationships can be very fucking distracting both ways. You then become a distraction for them and they're distracting the shit out of you or whatever. Obviously, I always advocate as much as you can. Take as much time for yourself as you can. You know, whether you meditate, whether you just, whatever the fuck it is that you do. And to see it's unraveling sometimes when you see certain somethings about a person that you've never seen before. One of the reflexes is almost like, who? Like, how did I not see that shit? How did I not see that all this time? Well, you weren't the person who was able to see it all this time. And now, in the twinkling of an eye, you done jumped, timelines, or you done jumped dimensions, or whatever, however you want to say it. And now you are that person. You know what I'm saying? So I'm never, it never ceases to amaze me how things unfold. It never ceases to amaze me how things unfold. So, you know, and some people, dare I say, maybe even have been sent to you to distract you because they see that you might be a hell of a motherfucker. So before they get into this stage where you're like a nuclear fucking reactor, like on some hell of a motherfucker, like reach in the bag and grab my wallet, like which one? The one that says bad motherfucker? That one? That's my wallet? Here, throw some shit at them. Put this person in their path. You don't think, man, this whole shit goes way, way deeper, man. Way, way deeper. I was actually watching a video, I forgot his name, but he was talking about sentient programs and how, yes, many of us on particular types of frequencies are watched. When you're not a part of the herd, when you're not a part of the regular humdrum, you're going to stick out like a turn in a punch bowl. You are. If they have sensors around the world, which they have said, they said it, that can measure consciousness, then you don't think they can measure when your fucking vibration and your frequencies start fucking popping up like an erection? You know what I'm saying? You bet your sweet ass they do. So anyways, but he was going on that, and it's like totally like I've spoke on this type of shit before. Maybe I didn't use the same words and shit like that, but I've also had other conversations with individuals, and I remember I was speaking with one goddess a long time ago, and she was telling me how I was being watched, and I was like, watching me for what? Who am I? This is before I even like had a channel, I did anything, but I was, doing my work at the time, and yeah, apparently I was being watched, but it resonated to me as true. But when you start thinking about all this, like it can start getting really deep, like to the point where like you just think that's somebody just walking by on the street. No, you may be being watched. I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying like, ain't nothing surprises me. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing surprises me. So like, and I'm not trying to sound ludicrous or crazy. And I know to some minds, the word, those words can maybe sound that way, but you're not paranoid when the shit's true, So, anyways, as usual, with this, they go together because it's basically another chapter, another variation of a spiritual initiation. And that's what that is. Stripping away what ain't you. Stripping away, getting people away who don't need to be around you anymore. The hardest part is when, nothing, like when somebody does something to you or does something like that really disrespects you, it's easier to, kind of remove yourself from that person. But it's a different kind of situation when it's more like the lights come on. And because the lights come on, I have to move away or I got to go. Maybe it's for a time, maybe it's for good. But I know right now I got to go. And it can be difficult. Like what all of a sudden you're just flipping up and switching up and shit, That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. And for some of you who've been through this shit already, or been, because it's who's to say you're not going to. it's going to reoccur at different times, because the moment you get on one particular dimension, you're going to go to another dimension. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, any belief for you, right? Let's just say you're like, okay, I'm working on my beliefs and my this and that I make 100,000 a month. Well, at some point in time, right now that seems extremely expansive, maybe, but at some point in time, it's going to be confining. It's going to be limiting at some point. What if I want to make 500,000 a month? What if I want to make 1,000,000 a month? Running this program of I make 100,000 a month is quite limiting in that case then. And from that perspective, you see what I'm saying? Everything changes. Everything changes. What served you yesterday may hinder you today, and vice versa. You know? So, with all that keeping in mind, that has been your energy read for this full moon, lunar eclipse, and all that shit. I'm still fucking thrown off that it's Friday. Like, I just checked the motherfucking calendar, yo. Especially when they keep trying to pop or come back around. Exactly. Some motherfuckers are like herpes out there. Extremely difficult to get rid of. You know? And you know what I'm talking about. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about, you know? Especially if you got the great, but, you know, that's another story. When you follow your passion, they try to stop you. Many, many times, yeah. I mean, that's, if you read any biography of anyone who's done anything, who hasn't experienced that type of shit? Because if you're tapping into your passion, like your personal energetic signature, your frequency is going to fucking shoot up the roof, you know, just by virtue alone. You know, that word passion has a certain frequency to it. You know, even though it's an English word that we are using to describe something, but you know, or they use guilt trips. That's the most one. The guilt trip is one of the most effective. And like I said, once you get that 8 of clubs in your head, and that 8 of clubs comes and like kind of cleans your fucking thing so you can see, you start to see all the tricks and the tactics. And granted, some of these people in your life, they may not actually know they're doing it, but some of them do. You know what I'm saying? They may be just doing something more unconsciously because this is what was done to them. Maybe they had an overbearing mother or father or somebody that manipulated them. So it's like that behavior subconsciously gets absorbed into them, and then that's just what they do. They may be very good at it, but they have an unconscious competence about it. Okay? There's 4 levels of competence in general. There is unconscious incompetence, meaning I don't know that I don't even know. I didn't even know that I didn't even know that shit. So how the fuck would I ever just, you know, there's that. Then there's conscious incompetence, right? I know I don't know how to fly a plane. I know I don't know how to cook that shit. I know I don't know how to do that. But I can find out now, because one thing I do know is what I don't know. You see? Then there's conscious competence, right? So it's like, okay, I kind of learned what I'm doing. Like, for example, conscious competence is like, okay, I'm getting better at this. I started off and, you know, my jab was coming, you know, some of my combos weren't as crisp as I wanted to, but now I'm starting to get the hang of it, right? Then there's unconscious competence, where you are so good at something, but if somebody was to ask you how you do it, you don't know. You know, like I've known certain salesmen that don't understand how they do what they do. They just do it. You know what I'm saying? So they may be doing that from an unconscious competence. They may be really good at it too. I've met some motherfuckers that are really good at, you have to be very careful. You're in the ring with a kind of a seasoned vet. Maybe they learn these things because also from their perspective, their Anakin Skywalker story, okay, they're not just a bad guy or a girl. They're just like, they've learned these behaviors because some of these are also defensive. It's how maybe they survived at one time, especially women, because women typically are the weaker sex. So they have to be strong in other ways. And a lot of times you'll see a little tiny woman just fucking dog walking some big motherfucker. Like here though, and here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. We had the same parents. People are energy vampires, especially for empathic. I hate the guilt trip. Or they act like you don't know what you're doing because they don't understand. True. And let's not forget about the whole subject. That reminds me right there of emotional transference. And depending how locked in emotionally you are with that person that's always around you, then what they begin to feel, you feel. But you don't feel it a lot of times as in, I'm receiving this from them. You feel it like as in, it's my feeling. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so important. You got to learn how to separate that shit. Just because you feel it doesn't mean I put it here, And it's like, you want to be able to choose, That emotional transference thing is a motherfucker, I'm thinking of different scenarios in which, for example, and I know this, I always get graphic and I do take it here, but one thing that I have done and nobody's ever known about it, but I'm just going to share it as an example. I'll do something like, I'll rub my hand and it'll feel good. And I can transfer that feel good all the way down to your pussy lips, all inside. It may not happen just instantaneously, but trust me, it will happen because my vibration is going to be consistent. And I might know how to say whatever I need to say to get, get your attention here, there, look over here, look over there. But this is where the magic is happening. The feeling. I'm like literally transferring the feeling. I.e. the human voodoo doll. You're your own human voodoo doll. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all ain't ready for this shit. Some of y'all just ain't ready for this shit. Yeah. But anyways, all that and more at the multi-dimensional mega magnetism ritual going down May 26th. Okay? Be sure you walk through the doors. We had the same parents. Me, myself, I would say if I had one who was able to do that well, my dad was like a gorilla, There wasn't much tact. There was absolutely no smoothness whatsoever. I didn't learn anything about women from him or anything. The one who had the most and tremendo effect on me was my mother. And she was able to do the guilt trips and things of that nature, And maybe she was doing them because she felt if I can steer him to go this way, I'm looking out for his best interests. So, the reason why people do what they do, I mean, that's potato, that's all up in the air. But my point is, you want to be in a position where you can at least see what is going on. You know, you want to just be able to see what's going on. Most importantly, within yourself. Now is not the time, because never in history has we been more inundated on a consistent and constant basis by others' thoughts, the programs. And let's not even talk about the different frequencies now, because of the what technology affords those in power to do. Even just on, I mean, you've heard, like, they've had these weapons for God knows how long, where they can just aim something over here at a crowd of people. They can aim certain frequencies that evoke certain, responses in that biological hard drive on your shoulders that you call a brain. You know, good, good, KD. I have a feeling you left extra spit on it. I cannot be mad about that. Shout out to you. So it gets really deep. All the more reason why you got to know what the fuck is going on. You got to know where do I end and begin, and where does others shit. You got to see the intruders coming, because if they already got in, and it's sometimes it's too late, but you can still catch them if they're inside, you know. But that is the battleground. That is the battleground. That's the most fertile and the most powerful battleground. I can use weaponry, I can use a gun and coerce you and force you. But you would I'd fare much better if I can get this. If I can get you here, then I got you. I got all of that. Now hit. Yeah. So anyways, we're going to conclude. I want to thank you all and invite you to join me tomorrow, Saturday, apparently. Wait. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I'm supposed to meet up with my daughter. And I'm thinking it's fucking Thursday, yo. This is crazy. It makes me laugh, okay? It just shows how I be like, time? What time? You know what I mean? Like, fuck you, time. I gotta tell time sometimes, fuck you, time, because sometimes time causes us to worry so much needlessly, especially the fear that you're running out of it, as if it's like sand, you know, sand in the hourglass or something. Like, I'm running out of time, you know. I would stress out so much on time. I don't have enough time. It's too late. Blase, blase. Sound familiar? Does that sound familiar to you? Yeah. Kamira Davis, I'll be doing readings tomorrow. Today was just a full moon energy read for any and everybody who resonated with this. Friendly person. Yes. I'll let you know today. Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. So anyways, I'm going to wrap it up now. And we are going to keep this show on the road. Absolutely. So once again, like I said, take what you can, take whatever resonates with you at this time and use it. You can start anytime. You can start anywhere. It is advantageous at certain times like this, when we have certain lunar or cosmic events going on. Like, if the energy's there, why not use it? So in and of itself, it's not going to do anything. It may affect other people around you or whatever. But let's be at cause, not effect. You are the cause and the effect. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to see you living just at effect of every little thing. You're just at effect. No, be the cause. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. That's what I got for you today. and we shall return tomorrow. Peace, Caribbean. Peace now, everybody. We out of here.